Good morning. Oh, fuck. Title's on the screen. Well, you can tell what we're going to talk about first. Hey. How you doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and I'm joined by absolutely nobody, because I'm on my own today. I'm on my own today, which, actually, bizarrely, going against the curve, as everybody else has noted in the chat, means that it's an early stream. Usually, when I'm on my own, I have quite a lot of things that I do. I mean, I don't do fuck all really. I don't do fuck all really. But if I was going to cast aspersions, make up stories, I would say that I'm a busy person. So when Bibby's not around, naturally, there's a lot of work that goes into putting the scoop together, even though it might not look like it. But yeah, when Bibby's not around, it means I have to pick up, obviously, the bits that he does. I'm usually doing things when Bibby's doing that sort of stuff. Can't say what, secret of that, spies and stuff. But today there is a lot of things that will take me many hours to do. So I have decided to push the scoop early, get that in first, so that I can spend the rest of the day doing the chunkier bits, which means you beautiful people get me bright and early for a change. Hey, it's actually 10 a.m.-ish. How you all doing? If you don't know who, I say we, I am. My name is Graham Day. I'm the only member of the team from Ice Cream Uploads that's going to be here this week, which is why we haven't had a scoop on a Monday and a Tuesday. We are having a scoop tomorrow. There will be no scoop today, should I say. We're having a scoop today. There will be no scoop tomorrow, and then we should be having one on the Friday. But don't worry, we do have gameplay streams coming as well. I will be on your streams tonight from about 6 p.m.-ish. Is it 6:30-ish? Is that what I usually go for? I can't remember. It's been that long. The streams up and down with the COVIDs and the stuff. But I'll be back on tonight anyway, playing PUBG. And then again on Saturday morning too. So even though we are a man down, we still have some content coming. Almost 50%-ish. Nice. Anyway, if you don't know who we are, as mentioned, my name is Graham Day. This is Ice Cream Uploads, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves, we go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish, which is exactly what time it is now. 10:34. We've been live for 11 minutes. That's 10 a.m.-ish. I'll take that. I will take that. Anyway, we do go live on Twitch each and every single weekday, but it's not just about the live streams. We will bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. I will then give you my thoughts and impressions on those stories, but if you're in the stream, please do feel free to get involved. I want to hear your thoughts and impressions, and then I want to hear your thoughts and impressions on my thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how the whole thing works. Obviously, we do go live on Twitch, but the live stream is turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. There is lots of places where over 130,000 people, that's a shitload of people, have watched and listened to this podcast on demand. So please do feel free to get involved on behalf of everyone that does watch and listen on demand later on. Before we jump into the news, a couple of talking points. First of all, !subathon. We'll probably give you the details, although it's a little bit out of date now because, that was a couple of weeks ago. We did have a subathon. We had a 24-hour stream, and we got ourselves up to 420 subs on the channel, which is madness. As a result of that, we have had some subathon teas made. They should be arriving, in theory, in the office tomorrow. If they do, I will share some IRL pics in the Discord. If you're in the Discord already, !Discord in the chat, you will see a picture, a mock-up of what that t-shirt will look like. Hopefully, the pristine. If not, don't worry, because you don't have to buy them. We're just giving them back to you guys anyway. Not everyone, the people that have qualified for one. Plus, we'll have a few extra ones for giveaways and stuff as well. So nice. As well as that !loot drop. Monday is the 4th of July, Independence Day. That is also our next loot drop. If you don't know what the loot drop is, subs get prizes, or one sub gets a prize every month. On Monday, it will be the next loot drop. We haven't announced or decided what that prize will be, but one person will get a prize on Monday for just being a sub to the channel. So if you've got a Prime and you're thinking, do you know what, I don't really know where I'm going to throw this down on Twitch, then do feel free to throw it down here. You do have a very small chance of winning a prize. It's like 1 in 420. So, it is what it is. But still, it's a chance. It's a free hit at getting a prize. It's probably either going to be a piece of ICU merch, maybe one of the subathon tees thrown in, and possibly a video game. We'll see. Or possibly a video game. We'll see. Anyway, OG FIFA Boy 68, welcome into the stream, dude. Thank you very much for dropping that follow. How are you doing? How am I? I am good. Thank you for asking. Jumping in the chat as well. It's what you like to see. Welcome in. Gagad says, bloody hell, this must be the earliest in over a year. Good morning, G. I think it's the earliest I've dolloped in over a year. We did have a stream. We had one like a couple of weeks ago that was 10ish, and there was one maybe the week before that, where Bibby went live, maybe the week I was off, actually, I think it was. Bibby went live before 10 a.m., which was madness. Still 10 a.m.-ish, mind. But yeah, we had that one a couple of weeks ago. Note, I wasn't there. Holy ice cream, Batman. Windows Soundses. Precious Windowses. Yeah, that was my emails. I've killed it all now. Save up the RAM, get rid of the outlooks and stuff. Baby back from holiday early. Is he chuff, mate? It's me, mate. Carrying the ship. Yeah, if that's steering the ship, carrying the ship, whatever. Fuck it, carrying it. It's harder. Chatbot is running now as well. So anyone that does want to chatbot stuff, it's nice. Just swinging by, off out, and mobile signal in Scotland is pretty non-existent. No worries, Tito. Go enjoy, capture your beautiful scenery. Not jealous whatsoever. Yeah. Especially as it's Graham and not Bibby being this early. Hey, I got things to do usually, which is why I'm earlier today. That rare Graham doll. Exactly. Well, that ruined my mid-morning nap. Wake up. Get ready. We do have a bunch of stories to talk about. A few from the Discord. Naturally, we try to bring you the scoop each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. And because I've had a week off, Bibby's got a week off, I had COVID, there was award ceremonies, we were getting set for the subathon. The last few weeks have been a bit patchy. We know that, and we still appreciate anyone that does turn up. This is what happens when you have a full-time job and then you make content on the side. You're not always as frequent as you'd like to be, but we appreciate the fact that you guys keep coming back anyway, so thank you very much for that. In return for that, we will share some of your stories. Obviously, !Discord is our Discord. Do feel free to jump in there. We chat with you guys. We share pictures. We talk about food. We talk about whether your water is hard or soft. Facts. That's how exciting our Discord server is. But we also share the news. We have a scoop channel where you guys share the news with us. So I've scraped a couple of bits from that. But obviously, it's been a few days since we touched the news. There is no way within an hour I could fit in all of the content that you guys have shared or has actually broken in the world of video games. So I've tried to keep it a little bit minimal. So we can have a little bit of a chat, go into a little bit of detail, but not be overwhelmed. So today we're going to talk about, I mean, you might have seen it on the stream already, the fact that Hideo Kojima, and this is a couple of days old. Oh no, it's only 17 hours old. I'm pretty sure the story broke a couple of days ago, mind. But Hideo Kojima wanted to make a video game like The Boys, the TV series. The reason I've included this, and the reason this is the lead story, is search engine optimization. You know, if you type The Boys and Hideo Kojima in your Google title, you'll get shitloads of views. No, it's not that. It's not that. The reason, I mean, that is a benefit. The reason we have this as the lead story, though, is that we have been talking about this in the Discord. There may be spoilers. I haven't read through the article, so just be aware. There may be spoilers as this article goes through. I will shout it out if I read it before I get to it, just so that you're aware. If you haven't seen all of The Boys Season 3 up to date, I imagine that might not be the case, and this is taken from thegamer.com, so they will probably give us a heads up if they are going to spoil a currently running series. So I'll give you the heads up. So we're going to talk about the fact that Hideo Kojima's take on The Boys would have been incredible. A potential match made in heaven. Then we're going to jump into a story that I think it was David shared on the Discord. It might have been Lake. Let me see. Let me have a look, actually. It was... no, it was David. Cyberpunk 2077's external QA team allegedly misled CD Projekt over its experience. So a lot of people, when a video game isn't up to scratch, go, well, they should have spent more time Q&A. Yeah, Cyberpunk absolutely yeeted their Q&A out the window. They didn't even try. That sort of stuff. Well, apparently, Cyberpunk's QA team, which was an external QA team, dropped the ball. However, that was the article. If we'd have gone live yesterday, that is the article that we would have led with. There is a follow-up article saying that Cyberpunk's QA partner responds to those allegations and claims a lack of understanding of how a game is tested. So we have two sides of a story there. We'll then jump into the fact that Sony is looking at PC gaming. So if you want some hardware for playing games on PC, Sony has your back. And then sticking with Sony, because, you know, PlayStation fanboys and that. We're not really. PlayStation Plus free games for July have been leaked. I also was going to include the games with gold element for Xbox just for a little bit of balance on that. But does anybody even care about games with gold anymore with Game Pass? I mean, let me know. Let me know. If you'd like me to include the games with gold roundup each month or half monthly or whatever it happens, then let me know. It's not Game Pass. So is there a point? Do let me know. Game Pass is obviously !Game Pass, the best deal in gaming. So do you even need to know? Do you need to know? Let me know. For now though, Hideo Kojima's take on The Boys would have been incredible. Bear with me 1 second as I get my browser source set up. This is where I usually chat to Bibs so that you guys don't see me doing the magic, the bits behind the curtain. Da-da! There we go. So Jade King at The Gamer has the lead story. And it says, Hideo Kojima's take on The Boys would have been incredible. A match made in heaven. So for those that haven't seen it, The Boys is a current series on Prime Video. It's a great series, by the way, with 3 seasons in. New episodes are coming out each Friday, and it's bizarre as fuck, but in a good way. Do check it out. Anyway, Hideo Kojima, one of the most creative and also bizarre minds in video games, thought about making a similar game, and that's where we are. Nice. So The Boys is one of the best shows on television right now. It's smart, violent, political, and never pulls a single punch. It's not subtle at all, shouting in our faces when it comes to critiquing gun violence, rainbow capitalism, and how they make our world an increasingly cynical and hostile place to exist in. It recently surfaced that Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding creator Hideo Kojima was working on a project similar to the subversive superhero adaptation before watching the show himself and realizing how clear the similarities were. He canned the idea, having recently told his social media followers of the shelved ambition because he's a man who doesn't know when to stop tweeting. I'm kidding, he's a good egg. Series creator Eric Kripke and Homelander actor Anthony Starr chimed in too, saying how much they'd love for Hideo Kojima to helm a video game based on the show. While it likely isn't going to happen, given Kojima Productions' current commitments to other projects, including an upcoming horror title in partnership with Microsoft, the idea of the eccentric auteur taking on this universe and putting his own spin on things is so damn exciting. He's a perfect fit, given that he's also lacking in any form of subtle... I'm guessing that should be subtlety, not subtly, and loves to explore modern political themes in a strangely nuanced way, given how campy and overzealous his signature qualities tend to be. Death Stranding is both a blazing critique on modern society's continued dependence on social media and a game where you can drink Monster Energy before turning your own piss into grenades to fight ghosts. Let's go! There is no middle ground to be seen, with Kojima leaning into the emotional nature of his characters and storytelling while never once being afraid to have fun with his never-ending well of stupid ideas. It's easy to see how the man conjured up a scenario similar to The Boys, especially given how in tune with the current media landscape of films, TV, and music he tends to be. Kojima is no doubt aware of how comic book cinema has taken over the world, with a once nerdy hobby becoming a mainstream success that everyone talks about. There is so much potential when it comes to subverting that popularity and exploring how cynical the corporate machine has become, but The Boys has already taken that angle to its most logical extreme, alongside similar things like Watchmen, Suicide Squad, and Doom Patrol that perhaps Kojima saw he had already been beaten at his own game, that his take on such a creative concept wasn't worth pursuing anymore. I'm glad he left it behind. I'm going to keep going with this because this is a good article. It's very long, so I'm not going to go too far. Where did we get to? I'm glad he left it behind, but I also can't stop thinking about how perfect a video game adaptation from his studio would be. The 7 remind me of so many Metal Gear Solid villains, with the majority of entries in the series filled with characters possessing ridiculous powers and backstories that are equally tragic and outlandish. Homelander could easily be positioned as a replacement for Solidus or Liquid Snake, surrounded by lower-level comrades who do his bidding due to a maximum obligation of fear, a mixture of obligation and fear. Kojima loves to make his baddies eventually feel twistedly sympathetic, something the boys also excels at. The boys are Solid Snake, Otacon, Sunny, Naomi, and a company all formulating a plan away from danger, just like in Metal Gear Solid 4, biding their time to strike and eventually using their enemies' own powers against them. Do you know what? We'll stop there. We'll stop there. It's a good article. I will share the link for those that haven't read this. This is a really good article. It's a long kind of opinion-led article by Jade King at The Gamer. There is the link. Do go, feel free to check the article out. Do give it a read for yourself. If you haven't seen The Boys, you might have to just lean on the rest of the chat for this conversation, because it's actually really good. It's actually really good. There's multiple levels that you could look at this. Oh, Jordan's in the chat. I'll read. Jordan, if you type in Sue, let me do this for you. Exclamation mark Sue. Sue! There you go. You're welcome. Nice. So yes. Time out. I've already done it for you. So you can do it. Wait. So yeah, there's multiple levels to this. Hideo Kojima and The Boys just sounds cool. Hideo Kojima makes cool stuff. The Boys is a cool program. They're very Hollywood, very modern, very switched on. It'd be a nice, cool thing. That's simple. That's an easy bridge to cross. Someone that's good at making video games and is at the top of the what's the word I'm looking for? Top of the game. No pun intended. Making a video game on a TV series that's at the top of the game as well. It's a no-brainer. But when you dig into that, as this article from Jade King has done, it is so on the money that it's bizarre. Hideo Kojima has always mocked, or not even mocked, analysed society, politics, the world at large, the situation of his place within the universe as themes throughout his games. So Hideo Kojima making something that has, how can I say this without spoilers? There is some fucking weird shit in The Boys, but in a good way, in an entertaining way. And we all know that Kojima likes his weird shit. So, like, him taking his political stance and his weirdness and putting that into a video game with superpowers and bizarreness, but also an intrinsic look at ourselves and society. The tagline on this article says a match made in heaven, and it absolutely is a match made in heaven. 100% nailed on. Like, him doing that game, it isn't just, I mean, I'm a Kojima fan anyway, and always have been. I love his twisted is a wrong word. Twisted sounds evil, but I love his skewed view of society and the fact that he has a really good angle. He looks at things in a way that not necessarily everyone looks at things from the off. So yeah, Kojima, I'd take this. Kojima making the Boys, which is like him, a series that looks at society from a skewed angle, that says things that you wouldn't usually expect to hear, that takes the piss out of things that people wouldn't usually take the piss out of because of fear. Like, the article mentions it never pulls a single punch, which is the perfect phrase for The Boys. It doesn't pull punches. It's happy to look at race, sex, diversity, inequality, social injustices, and mock them. Whereas a lot of people will be like, I don't know how far I can go with that. But The Boys looks at it all and isn't scared to, and does a good job of analysing and mocking the way society is with it. So Kojima doing that would have been great. Went to London yesterday for training, tested negative, then 4 hours in training, got hit hard ill and tested positive. So then I had to go all the way back home. Dead today. Oh no. I had it the other week, so get yourself paracetamol, get yourself some water, keep yourself indoors. Nice. The comics are a lot more graphic, by the way. I've heard that quite a few times. That's like the books are better than the film. The books are better than the film. I've heard a lot of people say that about The Boys, but I don't want to read it. I want to see it. So there you go. I won't be reading the comics. I am off until this is over, says Lake. No spoilers, Lake. I'm not giving you any spoilers. So I don't know if you're still around. I'm not going to go into the content of the series. So there is possibly spoilers in the end of the article because I didn't go through all of it. But yeah, I won't give you any spoilers. For those that haven't seen The Boys, by the way, it is on Prime. So if you have a Prime subscription, if you subscribe to Amazon Prime, you get Prime Video. Obviously, you get a Prime sub that you can throw down. Feel free. Nice. But Prime Video is free. I genuinely would recommend watching The Boys. If you're into superhero stuff, then you'll probably enjoy it. If you're interested in like stuff that's almost satirical, like if you like your political dramas, anything from like the feckin' West Wing right through to Avengers. I know that's such a big spectrum, but it ticks a lot of boxes. Because it ticks a lot of boxes, it might tick too many for a lot of people. But I really enjoy it. It's on the surface daft, but when you dig into it, it's actually quite smart. So yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. I would recommend. If you thought Herogasm was mad, the comics crank it up to 1,000. See, I actually didn't think Herogasm episode wasn't. Yeah, I didn't think it was that mad. I thought earlier in the series, without any spoilers, there was weirder shit that was more mad. So yeah, I didn't particularly feel like. I mean, there was obviously some. Herogasm is the episode name, so I suppose. Yeah, no, that's why I actually said it out loud. I wouldn't have said it if it wasn't. But yeah, Herogasm. Like there was stuff in there that was clearly meant to be mad, but I think because it was meant to be, and then there was not spoilers, there was like warnings and stuff. It kind of made me expect it to be even more. But I feel like there's been stuff throughout that series and previous series that was just as bad. So I don't feel like Herogasm was. It didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I expected it to be a bit more. In multiple ways. But it's good. Anyway, okay. Hideo Kojima X The Boys video game. It's not happening, or is it? I mean, this is one of those things. Maybe it not happening could will it into existence. Hideo Kojima has confirmed he's not making a The Boys video game. But the creator of the series, Eric Kripke, and Anthony Starr, who is Homelander from the series itself, have both said that they'd like him to do it. So could this be one of those things where Hideo Kojima has thought, do you know what, I had half an idea based on doing something superhero, maybe mocking society. Maybe it wasn't even as fully fledged as it's pretty much The Boys. Maybe he's just gone, do you know what, The Boys is cool. I had an idea that was too similar, so let's not do it. And he is just, with his own skewed view and extremely creative mind, just thought, okay, this is how I get the license to The Boys IP. Just say, I wish I could have done it. And then everyone goes, yeah, let's fucking have it. So, I mean, it could just be one of those things, talking it into existence. Maybe he didn't do it at all. Maybe it's just all pure marketing. And if it is, then fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, he's an incredibly talented person anyway, but if that's what he's doing, then GG's. I would love to see it. I would love to play it. Big fan of Kojima Productions, big fan of his history. So that with The Boys and everything that comes with it, yes, please. I will take it. 100%. Okay, putting a pin in that conversation, we're going to go somewhere else, down a different avenue. This is a story that we have spoken about a fair old... Oh, no, I've lost it. I don't know where I've put it. I was going to grab a copy of Cyberpunk, but I must put it in a different drawer. My drawers are full of shit because of the reshuffle. But anyway, Cyberpunk is a game that we were super excited about, like the world was. And then we were put off, like the world was, because it wasn't great. It was badly QA'd. Apparently, and this is a two-part article, so a two-part story, two different articles, both from VGC, yesterday and an update from today, so stick with us. But apparently Cyberpunk, aka CD Projekt Red, aren't necessarily the ones to blame. The article says Cyberpunk 2077's external QA team allegedly misled CD Projekt over its experience. This was written yesterday, actually the day before, by Jordan Midler at VGC. Confidential documents are claimed to show what went wrong during the QA process. Look at that fucking image, though. Look at that image. Is that an actual legit image? Because if it is, that is fucking incredible. Cure nerves. But yes, a new report has alleged that the outsourced QA team behind Cyberpunk 2077 misled developer CD Projekt about the experience and size of its team working on the game. Upper Echelon Games claims to have received confidential documents from employees at Romania-based Quantic Lab, the external QA company behind Cyberpunk 2077, detailing what went wrong during the QA process and how it possibly contributed to the game being so broken at launch. Upper Echelon Games was sent what it claims is a, quote, 72-page QA testing file, Quantic Lab human resources paperwork flowcharts, workflow charts, and more documentation supporting the legitimacy of the claim. The quote ended halfway through that sentence, by the way. Quote, new quote, I believe the source to be real. They have provided extensive evidence to support that fact and have made serious claims about the quality of QA activities at Quantic Lab, end quote, it states. In response to this story, a CD Projekt Red spokesperson said the company do not comment on rumours. That was a quote. VGC has requested comment from Quantic Lab and will update this story if it responds. There is an update down below, so I will see this. Maybe. I mean, I didn't notice there was an update here. I actually have a separate news article on this, but you know, we'll go back down to the original story first. Original story continues. Following 3 delays, Cyberpunk was released in December 2020 with a host of infamous technical problems, resulting in refunds being offered and the title being pulled from the PlayStation Store and CD Projekt shares tumbling. Around 75 Quantic Lab employees are named in Cyberpunk's credits, which includes its CEO and managers, alongside around 70 QA coordinators and analysts internally at CD Projekt Red. Quantic Lab is an experienced QA outsourcing company that has worked with companies such as Ubisoft, Techland, Paradox, and Deep Silver, and in November 2020, it was acquired by the Embracer Group. UEG's report claims that in 2019, several members from Quantic Lab were sent to CD Projekt to meet with the lead developers of Cyberpunk 2077 to discuss the QA process. However, instead of the QA team being comprised of veteran QA testers, the team was allegedly largely made up of junior members of staff with less than 1 year of experience. CD Projekt was under the impression that the QA team was comprised largely of veteran QA staff, the video alleges, but even the QA project lead for Cyberpunk 2077 reportedly had around 1 year of experience. Another alleged issue raised in the report is that the upper management of Quantic Lab reportedly required each QA tester to report 10 bugs per day per person. This is claimed to have resulted in CD Projekt being inundated with minor visual or performance glitches that were low on the priority list, and this was time taken away from significant and game-breaking bugs. Quote, eventually Quantic Lab was instructed specifically to stop sending through low-priority bugs and to focus on bigger issues, Upper Echelon states, but the damage was already done and CD Projekt was already very unhappy. It also alleges that Quantic Lab misled partners, including CD Projekt, about the number of testers actually working on the game in order to extend contracts. Quote, it's alleged by my source that between 2019 and 2020, Quantic Lab would make false claims around team size to secure or extend contracts, the video states. According to the confidential documents, in the summer of 2020, the Cyberpunk 2077 testing team at Quantic Lab was expanded from 30 to 60 people. However, it's claimed that these 30 new testers were new hires with weeks of training, which allegedly distracted the more experienced staff and added pressure to an already strained process. Upper management in Quantic Lab also allegedly forbid testers from ever referencing that they worked on the game, even banning them from including in their portfolios when applying for future roles. Okay, we'll stop there. Lots to take in there. Quantic Lab, the QA team that were working on Cyberpunk, apparently misled CD Projekt. They went in with a team that was 30 strong of QA testers. That was expanded to 60 strong, fresh out the gate, wet behind the ears, green, whatever phrase you want to put to it, testers that had no previous experience. So rather than doubling the size of the team and doubling the capacity, they were adding brand new people that needed to be trained on the job, which slowed down the original 30 for at least a good chunk of that time. So they were training their staff on CD Projekt's dime. The people that they sent, the people that they put in place to lead the QA also were inexperienced, which basically meant that the whole thing didn't have strong leadership and direction. Is the gist of this article. That plus the fact that people were almost kind of like quantity over quality, were just told, just get 10 bugs a day, find 10 issues. It's almost like targets. You need to find 10 bugs, even if they're not there. So people just find tiniest little bugs, report that, which means that the CD Projekt dev teams have a massive list of bugs, whereas some of them might be microscopic and may never even ever be noticed, distracting from the bigger bugs in the game. That was the article that came out a couple of days ago. That was then followed up. There is an update within this article, but I will just jump into the separate article that we have to give us a little bit more substance. So Quantic Lab insists it strives for transparency after claims it misled CD Projekt. That's the tagline from an article from Tom Ivan at VGC this time. It says Cyberpunk's QA partner responds to allegations and claims a lack of understanding of how a game is tested. So the outsourced QA team behind Cyberpunk has responded to claims that it misled CD Projekt Red over the experience of its team working on the game, and that shit me up. Lumps, thank you very much for the 32 bitties, dude. Welcome in. How you doing? How you doing? Hey. So
bits in it.
What the fuck? You got me again. Just as I look back at the news article, that's another 32 bitties. The Lumps 32 special. Thank you very much, Lumps. Ship me up twice.
Bits in it.
Okay, 3 times.
I shit my pants.
I did shit my pants. Another 32 bits from Lumps. God damn it, Lumps. Exactly. Thank you very much, Ronaldo. I appreciate that. Lumps, thank you very much, dude, for the 66. Is that what it is? 96. There we go. I can quick maths. 96 bits, 32 times 3. I appreciate that, dude. How are you doing? Good morning. Welcome in with a 32 special. You love to see it. Back into the news, though. The outsourced QA team behind... Oh, bollocks. I just clicked the fucking thing. Didn't mean to click it. I meant to just click on the article in general. The outsourced QA team behind Cyberpunk has responded to claims that it misled CD Projekt Red over the experience of its team working on the game and accused the person behind the original report of having a lack of understanding of how a game is tested. That was a quote in the opening paragraph. It says, earlier this week, YouTube channel Upper Echelon Games released a video in which it claimed to have received confidential documents from an employee at Romania-based Quantic Lab, the external QA company behind Cyberpunk 2077. The documents allegedly painted a picture of several things that went wrong during the QA process and how Quantic Lab may have contributed to the overall poor quality of the game when it was released. Excuse me. According to the report, CD Projekt was under the impression that a team of veteran QA testers was working on the game at Quantic Lab, which had previously carried out similar work on other projects for the company, including The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and Gwent, the Witcher card game. However, the report claims different. I'm going to start summarizing now as we catch up. In a response to the report issued on VGC on Tuesday, Quantic Lab CEO Stefan Sycarescu said the company, quote, always strives to work with transparency and integrity with our industry partners, end quote. While Sycarescu did not explicitly deny the specific allegations made in the video, he claimed it included inaccuracies about Quantic Lab and claimed that its creator appeared to show a misunderstanding about how the QA process works. Quote, the video published on social media, as mentioned in your article, starts with incorrect statements about Quantic Lab's history, Sycarescu said. There seems to be a lack of understanding in the process of how a game is tested before it's released to the market, end quote. He said that Quantic Lab currently employs over 400 employees across 3 offices in Romania and that it has over 60 active clients. Quote, Quantic Lab supports over 200 projects per year from several global leading publishers and continues to maintain a quality comes first approach to all the work we undertake, end quote. Sycarescu also appeared to suggest that multiple parties may have contributed to the poor quality of Cyberpunk 2077, which was released in December 2020. This is a quote, all our customer agreements are confidential, but in general, global publishers are working with several QA outsourcing companies, not depending solely on one, in addition to internal QA resources at developer level in most cases. Sycarescu said, each project we undertake is unique with regard project requirements. Project direction is agreed and adjusted accordingly as per real-time requirements with our clients. Quantic Lab always strives to work with transparency and integrity with our industry partners, which we've heard 3 times already across the course of this. So, Cyberpunk is definitely shit because of Quantic Lab. Apart from it's not shit because of Quantic Lab. Whew, okay, lots of news, lots of aspersions being cast, counter arguments. Where does that sit? Does that change anything? Does that change how you view Cyberpunk or not? Cyberpunk. Okay, let's put the discussing slate on screen. We'll go for Cyberpunk versus Quantic Labs QA. We'll just have that because there was two sides to the story. There you go, on the screen now. Does it matter? Does it matter if Cyberpunk were the ones that dropped the ball or if Quantic Lab was the one that drops the ball? I mean, Quantic Lab have said that they weren't the only QA team on that. Cyberpunk, aka CD Projekt, had their own QA team working on the game. They had their own developers building the game. Quantic Lab were doing QA alongside Cyberpunk's internal teams, CD Projekt's internal teams, plus potentially, without naming anything, because obviously they can't, NDAs and that, other studios potentially were out there working on that as well. Other external QA providers were probably working on that game, which wouldn't surprise me with a game as big budget as that. Plus the fact that it was delayed a few times, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, even at a late stage. I don't know how QA works, but even at a late stage, I wouldn't be surprised if they did loop in additional QA resources at that point in time. So, does it sound bad? Yeah, it kind of does. But my issue with this feels like a little bit of a witch hunt. This feels like someone is white knighting for CD Projekt here. The issue isn't the fact that CD Projekt released a game that they knew was broken. They're forgetting the fact that CD Projekt it's been confirmed in the past that top level positions within CD Projekt just weren't sure how well it played on console at all. They didn't even consider console because they were looking at PC, is the gist of that. That's not exactly the quotes, but that's the gist of what was said previously. So CD Projekt have all but said, yeah, we fucked up here. Now it feels like this is the white knighting. People are coming out to try and change history, to try and go, actually, Cyberpunk was a disaster, but it wasn't CD Projekt's fault. CD Projekt didn't have to release that game. They released that game because the higher-ups wanted to satisfy shareholders. All the shareholders pressured to the point where they just thought, yeah, fuck it, let's go for that. CD Projekt made that decision. Whether it was under pressure from finances or what, they still made that decision. They did not have to release that game, and they did have their own QA teams. They are, or at least were, one point within the last couple of years, the most profitable video game developer in the whole of Europe. They overtook Ubisoft after the success of The Witcher 3 and the Witcher series, and in the build-up to the release of Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red became Europe's largest video game developer, publisher, distributor. I don't know what exactly which part it was. Maybe it was just developer, but they were the most profitable. They were up there. So they're not like they are just at the whim of one QA agency. So I feel like this is unfair on Quantic Lab. Like, yeah, maybe they did drop the ball as part of it. Maybe they were kind of like rushed. I mean, if you've got faces melting like this screenshot that we had a second ago, so if you've got faces like this happening in game, then Quantic Lab probably have quite a lot to pick up in terms of bugs that need to be fixed. So I kind of feel sorry for them in that. So yeah, they may have missed a few things. They may have been like, shit, fucking firefighting, trying to get whatever bugs they can because of the state of the game. But I still don't feel like this absolves CD Projekt. That's where this video from upper echelon gamers kind of feels like they're trying to take the blame away from CD Projekt and put it onto Quantic Lab, where I don't feel like that's the case. If Quantic Lab would have dropped the ball, share prices would have been impacted on CD Projekt. They would, being the bigger brand with more money to lose, would have thrown that out early on. So the fact that CD Projekt didn't go, yeah, we were shit on by Quantic Lab, the fact that they haven't said that, and 2 years later we are getting these, it's just internet sleuth content that he's probably looking for alternatives and probably digging a little bit too deep into it. So do I take anything from this? No. It's a nice big headline story, but 2 years later, blaming an external QA is an easy thing to do, and I don't feel like that is fair. So, yeah, it doesn't change anything for me. Cyberpunk wasn't in a great state. It's a game that could have been exceptional, and it's a game that is still in the cellophane wrapper for me at this point in time, and that's how it will remain until it's fully next gen with all of the content and all of the additional DLC-ish stuff. At that point, maybe I'll jump in, but right now I'm still not bothered. This doesn't change anything. The game, even if it was badly supported by QA teams, was released in a state that it shouldn't have been, and that still falls entirely on CD Projekt. Nothing to do with Quantic Labs. So there's my thoughts. Nice. Sharing the sprinkles. We appreciate you sharing the sprinkles, Lumps. Thank you very much, dude. How are you doing? How are you doing on this Wednesday? What's it like for you? It's kind of mixed in Manchester, Shistershire today. It's kind of warm in these rhinos, but the sun was out and now it's kind of overcastish. Iceman with the alert and the horn. Too quick. Never played it, but not heard good things about the game. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I have it. It's usually just there, but because the house has been in a state for the past few weeks, don't have access to it instantly, so I will play it eventually. For now, though, if you're interested in playing PlayStation games with PlayStation peripherals, then you need a PlayStation. Until now, as Sony is creating a new range of gaming hardware for PC players. This is written by Joshua Robertson at The Gamer, and it says, InZone is a new brand of hardware specifically designed for PC gamers. So earlier this month, a new leak from Sony revealed it had a new range of gaming hardware in the works. 3 new headsets and a couple of monitors. While at that point in time details were pretty slim, we now know a bunch more info about these pieces of tech now that the company has made its official announcement. First revealed by the Washington Post, Sony has confirmed it has 3 headsets and 2 monitors in production that will make up a new brand called InZone. Named after the immersive feeling gamers get when they're in the zone. Yikes. I mean, is it yikes? Is it? It feels it, but we'll keep going. We'll let them off. Both monitors vary in price quite a bit, as the more expensive option will have a 4K display with a 144Hz refresh rate that will set you back $899. The cheaper option will have a 1080p display with a 240Hz refresh rate, but is significantly easier on your wallet at $529. Both of these monitors will launch later this year, the former as early as this summer. As for the headsets, they also come in a variety of prices. The most pricey of the 3 will cost $300 and comes with noise cancellation and synthetic leather, but there's a cheaper option that costs $230 if you're willing to forfeit these features. There's also a much cheaper $100 pair of headphones available if you're looking for a new set on the cheap, but be aware they are wired, whereas the other 2 sets are wireless. You shouldn't feel left out if you're a PS5 owner either, as these new products are also designed to fit well with the system itself, with features such as screen color optimization. Both monitors will also include a switcher that will allow players to use a single keyboard and mouse to switch between PC and PS5 seamlessly for games that actually do support them. Interesting. Most PlayStation fans will be aware that Sony has upped its interest in PC gaming over the past few years. Nice, okay, we can stop there. Thank you very much, The Gamer, for that article. Interesting. PlayStation has been making moves on the PC market. In terms of porting its software, it's now looking at positioning itself in the hardware realm as well. Sony's gaming hardware for PC players. Is that going to fit? Yes, nice. Kinda 34 degrees Celsius warm. Ooh, nice. Is this a beer after work day, Lake? Is that what you're thinking? I know you're a man that likes a good beer. Are we talking like a beer on a bench in the sun, beer in the park, something like that, or are you is it a kebab sort of day? The cat's dry, so it's not raining. Nice, 16 Celsius, perfect. Yeah, that I think it's probably it might be about that here. It's definitely warmer in this room, as you can probably tell from the moistness on the skin. Nope, more work after work day. Oh no! Oh, wow. Well, maybe a beer, one beer after the work. Nice. But yeah, Sony is creating gaming hardware for PC players. InZone is a brand of hardware specifically designed for PC gamers, and I'm open to this in theory. In-zone monitor. Let me go images. See if I can find some images of their monitors. So, okay, this is one from The Verge. Will The Verge have more pictures throughout? Okay, The Verge has pictures. Let's open this back up. So this is on The Verge, just to show. Cameron Faulkner at The Verge has this article written. Same sort of thing, goes through the same stuff, gives you the same pricing, but we have some pictures. So there is the monitor. An interesting, weird three-legged stand that shows the wire at the front. That kind of feels like that stands on back to front to me. Surely you'd want the wire poking out the back, not visible from the front. Like, what? Interesting. No, it isn't. It's not. That's literally the way it should be. That is bizarre. Okay, I mean, the wire, that is bizarre. I'm not sure about this. So for me, this wire here is going into the stand, and then if we look at this, you can see it goes in there and then comes back out here. That feels like a trick lost. If it's going to go in there, it should be going up here where it's not visible behind the screen. What's? But anyway, I mean, it's a nice enough. It's a black and white sort of monitor that is very similar to the traditional black and white of the PlayStation. Slim bezel, nice, but very expensive. Very expensive. 900 quid for the monitor. I mean, we are looking at 144 hertz and 4K, so it is more than you will need for your PlayStation. PlayStation, what is the max in theory? Is it 4K 120 in theory, or is it 4K 60 in theory? I know we've never hit that, but yeah, interesting. I mean, the thing for me is these are very expensive, and PlayStation is clearly going for the top end of the market. I mean, a monitor that has, 240 hertz and 1080p. I have more than that on the monitors that I'm watching this stream on, that are older and aesthetically just as good, if not better. They definitely have a better stand. I'm using Asus ROG monitors, and they are better in terms of the power that they punch. What was it? 144, 240 hertz. There you go. 1080p. These are 244, so I get 4 extra hertz, but it'll be cheaper. Their cheaper one is $529. You can probably pick one of these up for half that price. Maybe not brand new, but second hand definitely. And because they're a few years old, 100%. The 4K 144 hertz is nice, but 900 quid. I have a mega monitor, which is it's not 4K, but it's 2K 144 hertz, and that's that sort of price range. But it's an ultra wide, so it's 2 monitors in one. They feel very expensive to me. So the monitors look pretty cool. The headsets I am less thrilled about. So if we go back onto this, these look like almost like the PlayStation Pulse headset has evolved. But I don't feel like it's in a good way. I don't like that. That looks cheap to me, and that, because there's no wires on it, I assume is one of the wireless options. I do not like the look of that. That looks like something I'd expect to see for $9.99 in some plastic shrink wrap kind of stuff in Currys or Comet or whatever. Not a fan. I definitely will not be spending 300 stuff on that. I will happily stick with my Astros, Astro, by the way, in the chat if you want any Astro headsets. But I'm not using the fact that we work with Astro to criticize there. I do not like the look of that. I have a Sony Pulse headset that I use for when I'm using 3D audio playing on the TV. And it's cool. It's nice. It does the job. This Astro A40 headset is definitely better, but not a fan of the way it looks. The monitors, nice, but super expensive. The headsets, not nice and also expensive. I'm not a fan. What do you guys think? Anyone interested? Would you be interested in picking up a Sony headset for your PC? Or is this just PlayStation going in with their Sony name and expecting people to be like, yeah, PS5 stuff, look, but on PC? What are your thoughts? I wonder how much of it is really going to be a gaming tax that is going to be added to what might already be existing hardware, just repack. And I think that's it, David. And I don't think it's just a gaming tax either. I think it's a PlayStation tax, because PlayStation is a massive brand. It's super powerful. That's why you will often, if you go into a Primark or something like that, you will pretty much, you could probably do it today. Walk into Primark, and I wouldn't be surprised if you can buy yourself a PlayStation hoodie or a PlayStation T-shirt or a PlayStation like tracksuit kind of thingy. Wouldn't be surprised if all of that stuff is in there because the PlayStation brand sells. But I think there's a difference between selling the brand as a casual, to a casual audience versus this is selling the brand to hardcore gamers. And I feel like anyone that's got 300 quid to spend on a headset or would spend 300 quid on a headset would have some level of knowledge of what else you can get on the market. So for that 300 quid for that headset, you can get yourself, and this isn't a spawn, even though I am talking about our partners here, an A50 headset. Astro A50s. I mean, or even A40s with a mix amp. You can get either. There you go. There's A40s, and also there's A40s. There's new and there's old. Or not other way around. But you can pick up something like that, which for me, obviously the A40s are wired, but if you want a wireless headset, I would rather have some Astro A50s. Just, it looks better. That just does it not look like something from the 70s or 80s trying to do what the future would look like? This is what people will be wearing in the future. They will be walking around in tinfoil suits and wearing these. It just does not look good. And that flimsy, cheap, no, not for me. Not for me. So yeah, Sony, I appreciate the fact that you're looking after PC. I appreciate the fact that you are continuing to branch out, but this ain't it, Chief. Not for me, anyway. So yeah, I'll pass. And on that, we will pass on to the next bit of news. So sticking with PlayStation, though. So they are trying to take every single penny you earn by taking away 900 quid for a monitor, which is decent, but incredibly overpriced, and 300 quid for a headset, which is suitable, but extremely overpriced. But they do give back elsewhere, as PlayStation Plus free games for July 2022 have been leaked. So July's PS Plus essential lineup appears to include Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, and The Dark Pictures Man of Medan. I don't know if that's Medan. I always say Medan, so I'm sticking with that. So as has become tradition, the next batch of free games for PS Plus subscribers has leaked early. The user known as Billy Kun has been spot on with the PS Plus leaks for nearly a year at this point, so it's pretty safe to say that July's leak will prove to be true. July 2022's PS Plus lineup is said to include Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, The Dark Pictures Man of Medan, and Arcade-geddon. The trio of new PlayStation Plus free games will be available starting July the 5th for PS4 and PS5 users. This is one of the better PS Plus lineups of the year, so PlayStation Plus subscribers have a couple of fun games to look forward to trying in the near future. So I will continue to go through because it'll give you a little bit of an update on what each one of those games are. So Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time is the best known of the bunch. Originally released in 2020, Crash Bandicoot 4 brought back the iconic mascot in style. It retains the level-based formula of the early Crash games while adding modern flourishes for a smoother overall experience. Crash 4 is fast-paced platforming fun that requires nimble fingers and quick wits. Whilst it's a great family-friendly game, it is more challenging than most AAA platformers on the market today. Both the PS4 and PS5 versions will be free, so PlayStation 5 owners can get performance improvements. And then decidedly not kid-friendly, The Dark Pictures Man of Medan is the first entry into Supermassive Games' horror anthology series. Similar to the studio's other hits like The Quarry and Until Dawn, Man of Medan is a narrative-based adventure with an emphasis on player choice to alter the course of the story. Man of Medan follows 5 friends who go on a trip together. What could go wrong? I've heard good things about Man of Medan, so pretty good. Crash Bandicoot is already an instant dub. It might not be your always on choice of game, but it's an easy win. And then Man of Medan, nice. Then, to wrap things up, Arcade-geddon is a cooperative multiplayer shooter set inside of an arcade game. It supports 4 players and has both PvE and PvP activities. Arcade-geddon is played from a third-person perspective and has stylish visuals that look quite fitting alongside the premise. It has flown under the radar since becoming available last summer, but we imagine the servers will be pretty active once it's available to PS Plus members. The PS4 and PS5 versions will be available to claim. Nice. Just a reminder that June's PS Plus freebies include God of War, and they will be available until July the 5th, next Tuesday. So make sure if you're on PS Plus that you bag the freebies now before Crash, Man of Medan, and Arcade-geddon all drop in on Tuesday. Nice. I bought €300 headphones like 14 years ago. Still a top 3 purchase for me ever. And that's the thing, Lake. Jumping back onto that PlayStation hardware article, $300 for a headset is not a stupid investment. I would never say that. I mean, you can spend a lot more. And if you are a proper audiophile, then that could be a massive investment that pays dividends for you. For someone that's not, I like a great quality of audio, but I'm not an absolute audiophile to the point where, like, I need fucking $1,000 or euro or pound headset on my head just so that I can hear every different element of bass or whatever. As you can tell, I don't know what I'm saying because as long as it sounds good, as long as I can tell my left from my right, ideally with 7 points of audio reference and some good boosting options so I can pick out the lower sounds, which helps in games like Battle Royales and PUBG and things like that, 300 quid is more than enough for me. 150 quid is usually more than enough too. So the fact that PlayStation is doing a €300, dollar, pound, whatever it is, headset, and it looks fugly. I feel like they've seen that as a good price range. They're like, okay, well, we've got Astro headsets in there, we've got Logitech headsets in there. For half that 300 price, you can pick up a Corsair headset, which obviously we've had on the channel in the past, kind of things like that. So PlayStation going in at 300, I feel like their Pulse headset, their 3D audio headset, which is 90 quid or 80 quid, something like that. That's stomachable. 300 quid is a little bit extreme, particularly if David can pick up fucking Astro headsets for like 5 quid off of eBay. They look like what Apple would design. Let's start that again. They look like what would Apple design look headset, but made by Wish. Exactly. It is. It's not even that, to be fair, but I get where you're coming. I agree with the sentiment. Wish.com is something that you would want, but then weird. Like I've got a Star-Lord helmet up there. You can buy that from Wish.com, but it's like a weird latex thing. So it's, in theory, you're gonna get this. In theory, you're gonna get your Star-Lord helmet. But in reality, you get some weird latex thing that just goes and morphs around your face. But it's trying to be the exact thing. Whereas this isn't trying to be exactly an Apple product, but it's trying to take design cues from it and just doing it wrong. It's just doing it wrong. Like the weird microphone arm that's on that headset just looks tacked on, whereas Apple would have been considered. Or it wouldn't have it. It'd just have a little hole where there's a microphone built into the headset or something like that. So, yeah, it's just not good for me. Paul, welcome in, dude. How are we doing after the 24-hour stream? Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I was feeling tired, obviously, on the Sunday. I was sat on the couch. It was the Xbox showcase that day, and I was sat on the couch like this, trying to keep my eyes open, just eyes rolling around in my head. And then the next day, I felt rough, but I'm thinking, okay, it's just a 24-hour stream, just still kicking my ass. But then by lunchtime, I feel like, oh no, see, I don't feel great. I've got heartburn. I feel a bit sicky and stuff. And then by the evening, it was just getting even worse. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I've been in and out of consciousness for pretty much 24 hours. I shouldn't be getting worse at this point. So I did a test, and it turned out I had COVID. Nice. So on the Thursday, we had an award ceremony for Jelly Media, the business that we work at. And we thought we came back empty-handed. Turns out we didn't. We came back with COVID, me and one of my colleagues. So I proceeded then to have COVID for 10 days following that, which cleared up last Thursday-ish. So yes, I'm all good though now. I am all good. I'm good. Where did the footballs come from? I actually have quite a few footballs in this room. They're just usually out of sight. So those footballs were actually elsewhere in storage. The main reason there is not because I wanted to put them there, but just because I didn't have anywhere else to put them. So I just went, they'll do, and put them there. So I actually have. So that football there is a PES football. I think 2015. So this is something we distributed on when we worked on PES 2015. So that's the ball from within the game. This one, there we go, is the 2014 Champions League final football. So I was at that Champions League final in Lisbon. We worked at that event. So that's the 2014 football. But then up there, we also have the 2015 football from Berlin. and the 2016 football from Milan. And somewhere else, there is a football from 2017, which was in Cardiff as well. I have that one too. So I've worked on quite a few. So those footballs, are they signed by anyone? Oh, they're not signed by anyone. They're just footballs from events that I've worked at or games that I've worked on. That said, oh, my Berlin football. My Berlin football is up there. That's what it is. It's behind the stuff. That said, I have this, which, as you can tell from its knobbly shape, isn't pumped up fully. And that is because of how old it is. So this is a Pro Evolution Soccer 4 football. It could probably be pumped up, but I don't want to do that just in case it wrecks it, because this one is signed by Thierry Henry. Yay! So it could be pumped up, but I'm just leaving it with what's in there because I don't want to destroy it. But there you go. Thierry Henry signed PES 4 ball. Nice. Absolute throwback. Stay. Nice. Streamer presenting his balls on stream, reporting this to Twitch now. Wouldn't be the first time. But there you go. Yeah, a football signed by Thierry Henry, just up there. Which some of the old school PES guys absolutely would kill me for. A PES 4 bit of merch that was hard enough to get, signed by Thierry Henry as well. Whew. Nice. But yeah, there you go. That is it for the stream. Let me give you a little bit of a recap of what we've talked about throughout the course of the show. Hideo Kojima x The Boys isn't a thing that's going to happen. Or maybe it will, but right now it isn't, but it would have been great. After that, we spoke about Cyberpunk being let down by the QA team Quantic Lab, although we did have an update to that where Quantic Lab struck back and said, actually, it's not their fault. I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's a Cyberpunk issue. Quantic Lab were just part of a big disastrous thing. It's not their fault. And if they are part of it, then so what? Okay, they are the part of the bigger problem. CD Projekt didn't need to release the game, so it's still their problem. Elsewhere, Sony is creating a new range of hardware for PC gamers. If you want to play PlayStation games or just PC games in general, Sony is creating some new hardware. It's extremely expensive. There is some cool stuff in there that I didn't actually really touch on. The fact that the dongles, you can flick a button and change it from PlayStation to PC. You can use the same hardware on your PlayStation and your PC without having to unplug it, without having to replug it in certain things. That's cool, but it's not worth such a monumental amount of money. 300 quid, so I don't have to click a crappy switch. Let's admit, it's a little crappy switch on a dongle. That's a chunk of money. Nah, it's not for me, Sony. And then we wrapped up with your PlayStation Plus free games for July roundup. So if you've got PS Plus, new games do come in on Tuesday. Make sure you get the games that are there right now before Tuesday comes, or you will miss out. And that is it for us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another episode of The Scoop. I appreciate you being around. For now, though, I am going to set up a raid. See who's on. Let's have a quick look who's on before we disappear, so we know who we're going to say hello. I mean, West is on. We were chatting with West earlier on. Is there anyone else? Anyone else? Ooh. Ah, there you go. Fall Guys. Not Fall Guys. Insert Coin. They're playing Fall Guys. I'm wearing an Insert Coin hoodie right now, and they have just launched a new hoodie. Speaking of PlayStation, Insert Coin have just launched a PlayStation hoodie, a brand new PlayStation hoodie. So do me a favor. Don't go anywhere. Just drop in, even if you're not interested in Fall Guys. Just drop in and say hello to the guys at Insert Coin. If you can keep a tab open with them on, that would be great. They've just gone live. They're playing games. And they've just launched some new merch, so it would be nice to just give them a little bit of support. I appreciate you for sticking around. I appreciate you for sticking around for the raid as well. Don't worry, though, you will get rewarded if you do go. You get 250 sprinkles that you can spend on our channel. Words, nice. For the Channel Points rewards. Speaking of which, Channel Points rewards, I've just re-added the level 3 helmets, so rewards, because I've got my Astro in-ears back from the studio, so we can do helmet games and stuff now for those that are interested in that sort of thing. But for now, though, I am going to disappear. I appreciate you all for sticking around, and Insert Coin would appreciate you for sticking around for the raid. For now, though, have a beautiful day, and until next time, stay frosty. Yeah. Oh, actually, before you stay frosty, Friday, not back tomorrow. We'll see you at 10 a.m. ish on Friday. Yeah, nice. Stay frosty.